Okay, so this is just a quick and brief and kind of random tutorial on the object interaction with a ball. So I have a trampoline, and here's my ball, and it's gonna bounce up and down in relation to the ball. The trampoline is gonna, flex. So I'm gonna play it. One second. Okay. So first, you need to have something that represents a trampoline. It doesn't have to be this fancy, right? But for sure, something where you have enough mesh lines, where it's not too much. It could be something like this. As you can see, this is just enough of a balance so that it flexes well. Whereas if you don't have enough lines, it won't flex as good. It'll look more blocky, and you can see the surface planes. So something along these lines is a good idea of how many resolution lines you're gonna have. Okay. It could be double-sided, right? So for example, if I look inside, there's 2 layers. Or it could also just be one plane or one card that's split up. So it's up to you. And what I did was, this ball animation, it's the one that I did for the demo. And then after that, I just placed a trampoline, alright? And then let me just hide this for now. And let me hide my ball geo. What I did was I grabbed, right? Selected it. The vertex in the middle. Okay. Under the modeling toolset, I turned on soft selection. And depending on how big your mesh is, right? You set the number. So originally it's 5, but as you can see, it's not enough. Set it to 10, and make sure it's set to volume instead of surface. And by default, it should be volume. Leave this alone. And all I did was just time it with the ball, right? So frame 1, I lowered it down. Okay, see? Right. Oh, I might have lowered it. One second. Okay. Alright. Sorry, I thought something was different. So I lowered the ball, and in this situation, you might want to have the auto keyframe turned on, which is red. Red means it's hot and it's active, so that every time you push and pull, it will automatically keyframe for you. For something like this, where it's more like reacting, where the animator is reacting to these 2 objects, So let's say, for example, I lower this further, and it's keyframed automatically, right? So for example, up to here, maybe I need to lower it back. You notice, it updates. I don't have to press S. Yeah. So for example, another review about trick and copy and pasting keyframes, which we have to do on this one. For example, I got from 1 to 5. the ball is at a static hold. It's not moving, right? So let's say my trampoline, 1 to 5, I have a slight movement, right? Modify the keys a bit. So, you know, let's say at 1, I want to copy it over to 5. All I do is, while it's selected, middle mouse, click on it, on that specific keyframe, middle mouse, click and hold, drag it over, let go, press S. And that just does copy and pastes it, right? So, yeah, just want to quickly go over that because it will pertain to this. And then, so when it lowers, at the lowest point, I lower the point, my soft selection down, and then I go up, not up, but scrub, right? And I lower it some more, and boom, boom, boom. This part, and press Q. Maybe I gotta work on that penetration a bit. So I lowered it some more, and my keyframe is updated because I have, like I mentioned, this thing on the auto keyframe. And then I pumped it up, bump, 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 bop. So all of these are keyframes that I had kind of, meticulously set. So it kind of, my interpretation of how this trampoline would react. It's reverberation, bop, 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 bop. And like I mentioned, to copy specific keyframes, you hover over it, middle mouse, click and hold and drag, right? Let go, and then you have to press S. That will lock it in to copy and paste keyframes. So this one here, as you can see, is pretty straightforward. You select the middle vertex, make sure you have enough lines, right? But also not too much lines as well. There's a balance to it, right? Make sure there's a midpoint, 100% important, right? That way, once you have the midpoint, equally distributed lines, you can, manipulate the up and down confidently. That's right in the middle in interaction to the ball. And it is okay if it penetrates through here because, the camera angle, for example, if it's like this, all depending on you, the artist, or however you want the camera angle. So if it's like this, you're gonna want to have where it looks more okay. Even something like that. See what I mean? Whereas when you have the camera angle more aggressive underneath, like this, obviously you have to go and lower it. Like that. Press Q to hide the up and down arrow. See? But if I were to turn my camera like this here, it looks like it's floating, right? So it all depends on the camera angle. And for example, if I want it like this, I wouldn't drop it lower because it'll look like it's floating and not making contact. Maybe I might do that. Press Q. Yeah. But you notice if I go to this frame, because I'm trying to try to have it cycle, it's going to be different. See? So let's say I like this one better. Well, I'm going to be on that keyframe, click and hold the middle mouse button, drag it over, let go of the middle mouse button, press S. Now you notice the keys are the same. Play, bop, 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 bop. So that's pretty much it for the trampoline. This is the easiest way to do it without, having to do lattices and stuff. I did the lattice. It's more of a headache. So yeah, modeling toolkit. Select the vertex. Make sure you have enough lines, but not too much lines. Turn on soft selection. Set to volume. Depending on how big your model is, it will correlate to the number here. and turn on auto keyframe and start timing it. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for that one. Alright, so just one more time, I'm gonna show it like this, and yeah, so if you just take a good look and look at the spacing and the spacing and how many lines, and you can use this as a base guideline in terms of how many lines. It could be a square, it could be round, right? But make sure it is a polygon, not a NURBS. Well, you could use the NURBS too, but it's just easier for polygons for now. And you know, select the midpoint, press 4, and then start animating the keyframes. Don't animate the other stuff though, just him. And that's it. But that's done after the ball animation. Yeah. Okay, bye.